Here's a challenge. What if you never had to decide to save money at all? Because it happens automatically. Imagine building wealth without the constant struggle of willpower or the temptation to spend first and save later. That's the secret many of the wealthiest people use. They set up their finances so saving and investing happen in the background, quietly and consistently. This approach, often called stealth wealth, isn't about showing off. It's about letting your money grow without anyone noticing, and without you having to think about it. In this video, we'll see exactly how to set up automatic transfers that do the heavy lifting for you, so you can start building real wealth while barely lifting a finger. So how does this actually work in real life? The answer is simpler than you might think. The real secret to making money without thinking about it is automation. Specifically, automated transfers that move your money before you even get a chance to spend it. Instead of relying on willpower or constant reminders, you put your savings and investments on autopilot. This isn't about being disciplined every single month. It's about designing a system that makes the right choice for you every time. Let's be honest. Most people don't struggle because they lack the intention to save. It's because life always throws something unexpected your way. You might promise yourself you'll save $500 this month, but then last-minute expenses or an impulse buy gets in the way. Over time, these small decisions add up, and your savings plan falls apart. The key insight here is that willpower is a limited resource. Even with the best intentions, it's easy to slip up. Automation solves this by removing the need for decision-making altogether. Your money moves where it needs to go, no matter what else is happening in your life. Setting up automatic transfers is straightforward. You log into your bank or payroll system and schedule a regular transfer, maybe right after payday, to a separate savings or investment account. The trick is to make sure the money is moved before you see it in your checking account. That way, you never feel like you're giving something up, because you never had the chance to spend it in the first place. This approach pays your future self first, every single time. A great example comes from a teacher who decided to automate her savings. Every Friday, $50 from her paycheck goes straight into her brokerage account. She jokes that she can't even remember her login because she never needs to check it. That's the beauty of this system. It runs in the background, reducing temptation and making savings feel effortless. Over the years, those small, regular transfers can add up to a significant sum, all without having to think about it week after week. Automation isn't just about saving, it's about investing. Many platforms let you set up automatic purchases of low-cost index funds, which means you're buying a tiny share of the entire stock market with each contribution. For instance, if you had invested $25 a week up to a broad S&P 500 index fund starting in 2013, you'd have over $20,000 today, even after the ups and downs of the market. This method doesn't require you to pick stocks or time the market. It's simple, affordable, and historically effective. Why does this work so well? It comes down to a principle called out of sight, out of mind. When you never see the money in your spending account, you're less likely to miss it or feel deprived. You avoid the emotional friction of choosing between saving and spending. Behavioral financial experts agree people are far more likely to stick with their savings plans when they never have to manually move the money themselves. That's what makes automation so powerful. Each transfer, no matter how small, moves you closer to your financial goals. The process is consistent, reliable, and doesn't require constant attention. You're not stressing about whether you remembered to save this month or wondering if you can afford to invest. The system handles it for you, making progress inevitable. By now, you can see how this one simple hack can transform the way you build wealth. But there's another challenge that can quietly undermine your progress, even if you automate everything. It's something that happens to almost everyone as their income grows, and it has the power to erase your gains before you even notice. Let's take a closer look at why managing this next obstacle is so important if you want to keep your financial momentum going. Lifestyle creep is one of the most powerful forces working against your financial goals, and it often goes unnoticed. As your income increases, it's easy to justify small upgrades, a better car, a bigger apartment, a few more nights out. Before you know it, these small changes have quietly absorbed every extra dollar you earn. Instead of putting you ahead, a raise just resets your baseline, keeping you stuck in the same financial spot despite earning more. Take the story of a friend who, after a raise, immediately leased a new SUV and moved into a trendier loft. Her paychecks were bigger, but her expenses grew just as fast. Within months, she realized her bank balance hadn't improved at all. Her lifestyle had simply expanded to match her income. This is the trap of lifestyle creep. When every increase in pay leads to an equal increase in spending, there's nothing left to invest or save. So, how do you break out of this cycle? The answer is to flip the script and use every raise as an opportunity to strengthen your financial base, not just your lifestyle. This is where hack number 5 comes in. Fight lifestyle creep. The core strategy is simple. When you get a raise or bonus, resist the urge to upgrade your life right away. Instead, channel that extra cash directly into savings, investments, or debt repayment. A practical example comes from a graphic designer who received a significant promotion. Instead of moving to her own apartment, she chose to keep living with her roommates for 2 more years. By doing this, she saved $500 every month, money she could have easily spent on rent. But rather than letting those savings sit idle, she invested them in a real estate investment trust, or REIT. Over time, the dividends from that REIT grew to nearly cover her new rent when she finally upgraded her living situation. This decision didn't just delay gratification, it built a passive income stream that made her eventual lifestyle upgrade far less stressful. Her story shows how resisting lifestyle creep can turn a temporary sacrifice into a long-term advantage. Behavioral finance experts back up this approach. They recommend freezing your lifestyle for a year after every raise. That means holding off on any major upgrades and directing the full amount of your raise into investments or debt reduction for 12 months. This isn't about deprivation. It's about letting your money work for you before you let it work for your lifestyle. During that year, you'll build a bigger financial cushion. And by the time you're ready to spend more, your investments may already be generating returns that make those upgrades easier to afford. The real power of fighting lifestyle creep lies in the compounding effect of those choices. Every dollar you don't spend on an immediate upgrade is a dollar that can be invested and allowed to grow. Over the years, these small, repeated decisions can add up to a massive difference in your net worth. Instead of living paycheck to paycheck, you're building assets that will serve you for decades. It's not about denying yourself forever. It's about creating the freedom to make bigger choices later, because you can put your money to work early. This habit also fits perfectly with the concept of stealth wealth. By keeping your lifestyle stable and avoiding flashy upgrades, you stay under the radar. You're not broadcasting your financial wins, which can help you avoid social pressure and keep you focused on what really matters, building security and options for your future. Every time you say no to lifestyle inflation, you're not just keeping more money, you're gaining more control. You're making intentional choices that align with your goals rather than reacting to what others expect. That's how you build a financial life that's truly your own. Now that you've seen how fighting lifestyle creep frees up cash for investing, you might wonder how to make those extra dollars work their hardest. Next, we'll show how turning those savings into investments can multiply your money without any stock picking stress. Compound interest is what quietly transforms small habits into life-changing wealth. Take the story of a college intern who started investing just $20 a week into a Roth IRA at age 19. With an average return of 8% per year, she's projected to retire with nearly $1 million. That's not from some windfall or high-stakes investment. It's the result of a simple, consistent action repeated over decades. The earlier you start, the more dramatic the effect. Even a small weekly contribution, if given enough time, can become the backbone of your financial future. At its core, compound interest works like this. You invest your money, it earns returns, and those returns are reinvested to generate even more returns. Over time, this cycle accelerates. The longer your money stays invested, the greater the snowball effect. Time is the key ingredient that unlocks compound growth. and starting early is the best way to maximize it. To put this into perspective, consider the example of two twins. One begins investing $50 a week at age 22, while the other waits until age 32, but invests $100 a week, double the amount. Despite the second twin's larger contribution, the first ends up with more wealth at retirement. That decade of extra compounding makes all the difference. The real hack here is simple. Start as early as you can, even if the amount feels small. Hack number 10 is all about harnessing time early. You don't need a huge income or a perfect plan. Consistency and patience are far more powerful than trying to find the next big thing. The college intern's $20 a week might sound insignificant, but with an 8% average annual return, she's on track for a nearly 7-figure retirement. That's less than the cost of a daily coffee, yet over decades, it becomes a fortune. Let's look at the math. If you invest $20 a week for 40 years at an 8% return, you'll end up with over $240,000 in principal and interest. Stretch that to 50 years and the total grows to nearly $600,000. The key detail is the average annual return. Historically, broad stock market index funds have delivered around 8% per year. The earlier you start, the less you actually need to contribute to reach your goals. Time beats timing every time. Start now. In the beginning, growth seems slow. The first few years might only add up to a few hundred or a few $1,000s. But as your investments gain momentum, the return themselves begin to generate their own returns. This is when the curve steepens and your wealth starts to grow exponentially. The heavy lifting is done by time and consistency, not by making huge sacrifices or taking big risks. This approach also takes the pressure off. You don't have to stress about picking the perfect stock or getting the timing just right. Instead, you're building wealth in the background, letting the math work for you. Automating your contributions, whether it's $20 a week or $50 a month, means you don't have to think about it. The money moves out of your account and into your investments, and your process runs quietly in the background. If you're unsure where to start, remember that the perfect amount is whatever you can afford today. The most important thing is to begin, even if you can only manage a small contribution. The decades ahead will do most of the work for you. Take a moment right now, glance at your calendar or your payroll portal, and set a date for your first automated contribution. That single action could set you up for a lifetime of growth. Building wealth this way is steady, reliable, and surprisingly low-key. But as your investments grow, there's another crucial factor to consider: how to protect what you've built. After all, growing your money is only part of the equation. Keeping your financial progress private and secure is just as important for lasting peace of mind. Protecting your wealth goes beyond building it. It means keeping your financial life private and maintaining the discipline to stay focused on your own goals. This is where stealth wealth becomes more than just a strategy. It's a system for long-term freedom and peace of mind. When your assets and progress stay out of the public eye, you avoid the distractions and pressures that can come with visible success. Consider hack number 7, buying privacy with your assets. One of the most effective ways to keep your finances discreet is by holding investments through entities like limited liability companies, or LLCs. For example, a friend manages her 3 rental properties under the name Oak Street Holdings LLC. When someone searches public property databases, they see the company name, not hers. This simple tactic shields her from awkward conversations and unwanted requests from relatives who might otherwise see her as a source of loans or financial help. Her tenants don't know her personal details, and even at family gatherings, there's no hint of her growing real estate portfolio. The result? She enjoys the income and security her investments provide, without the complications that come from being visibly wealthy. Maintaining privacy isn't just about legal structures. It's also about resisting the urge to show off. The wealthiest people often choose to live quietly, channeling their extra cash into assets rather than status symbols. By avoiding flashy purchases and public displays of success, you sidestep the keeping up with the Joneses trap. This discipline helps you focus on what really matters: building lasting wealth, and making decisions based on your own priorities, not external expectations. When your lifestyle remains stable and understated, you free yourself from the cycle of comparison and pressure to upgrade just because your income has grown. There's also a powerful mindset shift that comes with this approach. When you keep your financial progress private, you protect your mental space. You don't have to justify your choices or explain your strategy to anyone. This allows you to stick to your plan, even when others might question why you aren't spending more. The psychological benefit is significant. You're able to prioritize freedom and security over fleeting validation. Hack number 13. Anonymous generosity is another key part of the stealth wealth system. Giving quietly, like paying for the car behind you at the drive-thru, or slipping a grocery gift card to a family in need, lets you use your resources for good without drawing attention. This habit reinforces the idea that money is a tool for positive change, not a way to signal status. It also helps you avoid the expectations to give more or the scrutiny that comes with public acts of generosity. When your giving is invisible, you keep the focus on impact rather than recognition. Combining these privacy strategies with the habits you've already built, like automated savings and investing, creates a complete system for financial growth and protection. You're not just growing your wealth quietly, you're also shielding it from outside pressures and distractions. This allows your assets to work for you in the background, while you remain free to live according to your own values and goals. Every step, structuring your investments for privacy, resisting lifestyle inflation, and practicing anonymous generosity, strengthens your financial discipline and keeps you in control. You're already saving quietly and growing investments. Now you're shielding them too. And that completes the stealth wealth system. When you put these habits together, you create a life where your financial freedom isn't about what others see. It's about the choices and security you enjoy every day. This is the quiet power that gives you space to focus on what truly matters, setting the stage for a future defined by freedom and peace of mind. Building stealth wealth is about choosing financial freedom over appearances. Every small, consistent decision, like investing instead of spending, moves you closer to long-term security. Deciding today that impressing others matters less than buying your own freedom is the first real step. If you want to take action, log into your payroll system right now and schedule your first automatic transfer. Start by automating savings, opening a broad index fund, or directing your next raise to investments instead of lifestyle upgrades. If you're ready to start, comment below with the dollar amount you'll automate first and hit subscribe for more quiet money hacks. Remember, pay your future self first, and the wealth builds without a second thought.